What's up, guys? I'm here today with 4Eve. I'm here with Cooper. Cooper, how you doing?
What's going on, boss? How you doing?
Doing good. Thanks for having me out.
Yes, sir. Thanks
Loved y'all's release of Live at Indian Cycle. Kills,
Thank
man.
you. Yes, sir. Thank you, man. That's awesome. Appreciate it.
Yeah, for sure. So one thing I noticed, y'all sounded really good, like audio quality-wise. Guitars especially. Is this the guitar you're using for that?
Yeah, this is definitely my main thing I'm going with, my 335. It's the Jim James special edition that he came out with a few years ago. I'm a big My Morning Jacket fan, so that's why I picked that. And so really rock with this a lot. And I really chose the semi-hollow body to really complement what, Alex has got going on over there with his telly. So that kind of really went into my decision on, what kind of rhythm guitar I wanted to pick. So, definitely appreciate it. Yeah, we love it. We love it.
Yeah, for sure. So is it stock like it comes? Or
Yeah. I haven't really messed with it. I mean, I took it to a Guitar Center and got it, set up and everything like that. But other than that, I didn't really touch it much, other than just changing the strings out. So, my pedal layout I have is pretty simple. As you can see, I'm kind of messy down there. But really, I just like to have a good, I got my soul food for a solid rhythm distortion. And then I'll click that off and I'll have my clean tone, Oh. So I got that, so I can switch back and forth. I really try to keep it simple during the show because I don't want to be dealing with that because during the heat of things, you get a little lost. For sure. So definitely, and then I got I use the Black Star distortion itself as like a solo boost, just in case I ever do want to have a solo. I'll click that and be able to kind of get a little louder and have some fun. So and then the best thing I have, I should say the best, the one I use the most is my wah pedal. Honestly, you could say I probably use it too much, but I love using it, and just to add that kind of trippy effect. We kind of like that psychedelic sound, so we're always on to that. So real simple setup. I usually just run through the Black Star, and just kind of switch back between here, and I'll also plug in through the same setup my resonator. If you want me to show you that one real quick.
Yeah, before we go to the resonator, so what model of wah is this?
Oh goodness, this is just like the bass crybaby wah, and I'm not a huge tech nerd with the names, but it's just a classic crybaby, I'm pretty sure. Actually, I got it from Simon.
Actually, it's GC95.
GC-P95, yeah.
There we go.
I knew when I picked the GC-95 that it was going to be the one for me.
Perfect. You're getting the endorsement tomorrow with that.
Yeah, dude, if they hit me up, I'll take it.
Yeah, I really liked your wah sound on Fixing to Die. Was that you or was that Alex?
So I have midway. We've actually both used the wah. When I come in towards like the third quarter of the song with the guitar. And then, you'll hear me kind of do some rhythm wahing to get that last section going. So I was on there, but I think he also uses the wah a lot too. So that one, we're both kind of doing it, and I think we might have the same one. I don't know. But anyway, it definitely fits together, so we like doing that. Yeah. So that's that one, but the real thing that I like is my resonator over here.
Yeah, let's get it out.
This resonator I got about 6 months ago.
Okay.
From a family friend. It's from '77. It's a SX, and I really never heard of SX before, but since I could plug it in and I didn't have to really, worry about having like a PA setup, I really like being able to use my pedals with this. And so a lot of songs like Yazoo, and I really like that because honestly it just complements. A lot of what I'm trying to do is just complement the melodies and lead, that Paco's doing when we go with it. So I just love that kind of grainy acoustic, resonator sound. And then, if I get a little crazy and I want to kind of still kind of have that electric guitar effect, because of course everybody loves that. But I really only probably play like 3-4 songs in our set with this, but I sure do love it. It's all if I'm playing this, it's usually a pretty easy song for me, honestly. A lot of open chords and the easy stuff. So we like to stick to that.
For sure. So I noticed it looks like you play with your fingers, like instead of a pick for Both?
Yes. So so a lot of times, so when I want to click on the solo, not on the resonator, but on my 335, I'll have a little pick right here. If I want to solo, I'll grab it. And a lot of times I'll switch, but most of the time I'm finger picking. And then I don't know how many people do this, but I've kind of developed this because with the pick I'm too scratchy and it's just too harsh. And so with that skin tone, you know, it's just softer and it just kind of mixes into our mix the best. And if I drop, I don't have to worry about dropping a pick or anything. And then I can kind of change it to, you know, just some finger picking. So I like that switch around. A lot of times I'm trying to add, you know, dynamics in the song that way, since I'm not really playing that much fancy stuff up here, but, you know, you try to add those dynamics where you can. Well, yeah, this guy. But yeah, for sure. So, you know, love this one. This is definitely a good one.
Yeah, super cool.
Well, sweet. Yes, sir.
I didn't get a chance to ask you, what model of Black Star amp is this?
So this one over here, this Black Star, is the HT Club 40, which of course I just kind of read. This is Paco's old setup, and when he got that Marshall over there, I started using it because my Fender was just not enough. So this is a half state, I believe. But again, it's kind of one of those things where since he moved to Marshall, I think Black Star comes from the same people as Marshall. And so it really, you know, they jive well together, which again is all I'm trying to, you know, do is just jive well with everyone so they don't kick me out.
Yeah, it's admirable. When we're listening to your recordings like Shot Dog, what amps are we hearing?
So you're definitely hearing these two right here.
Okay, sweet.
And we'll switch out, and I know when we go through over there, we'll switch out and mainly switch out guitars, but we kind of go back and forth between amps in the studio, and then when we want to add extra, we'll just change the guitar or something like that. You know, it depends on the time, but we definitely enjoy doing that. So mainly, if you hear it from us, it probably came from one of these two, more than likely. So, yes, sir.
Well, anything else you want to talk about?
I think that's it for me. I think Alex has got a lot more over there that he'd be able to explain. So I think that's all I got.
Thanks for your time, man.
Thank
you.
Yes, sir.
Now I'm over here with Alex on lead guitar. Alex, how you doing?
Good, I'm doing good, man. How are you?
Doing good. Thanks for having me. So, tell me about your telly.
Telecaster, Player Series, I think. I got it because it didn't go out of tune at Guitar Center.
There you go.
I played a Les Paul for like 10 years. It's over there. I think it sounds awesome, but I was just looking for something that was a little bit more reliable. Telly's that, like the way I look at it, Telly's kind of like a lean and mean Les Paul. I like the attack on it. It's got, you can dig in. It cleans up nicely. You know, compared to that Les Paul, like it's got that nice mid-full meatiness to it, but the Telly cleans up nicely and it's more lean. It's like knives attacking you, whereas that's more like a boom. It's like,
Yeah, like you said, rock solid, reliable, not going to go out of tune on you.
I don't have to tune it like ever. Like I can. That's a lie. I have to tune it sometimes, but in between songs, typically not. You know, so.
So is it a stock? You've done anything to it?
Yes, actually. Speaking of reliability, Tellys aren't perfect. String through bodies, sometimes the break angle can make your strings break, especially if you're digging in. So I actually have a top loader here, and I bought this bridge. It originally had like the 6-saddle Fender player, you know, stock thing that they have, and then I bought this. This is actually like a thicker plate than a normal Fender one, and now it has brass saddles on there, so it just sounds a little bit more like a Telly now. And then I kind of like the top loading aspect of it. It's kind of got like a percussiveness. It's just got like it's just begging you to just kind of spank it a little bit. And yeah, and it also kind of has like a lower tension on it now, or it feels that way because it's got like that shallower break angle. So, but that was really just me like, okay, I'm tired of my strings breaking. So this is my main thing. It's comfortable. It's got a nice belly cut on it, locking tuner. So it's really really just a machine of practicality, to be honest. Like so, yeah.
Super cool. Yeah, you couldn't ask for more practical and like straightforward. Okay. Now on the other hand, your pedal board, you got a pretty good bit going on here.
Yeah, that's kind of the opposite of practical with the pedal board. You should have seen this thing like months ago. Like this is clean-ish compared to what it was. Pedal board, I got the volume pedal, I just like sometimes like ambient type. I got this. So if I like, here's the duo right here.
I don't know.
That sounds good. I got this these two delay pedals on here that I like, and combined with some swells, it's I just like that. I just want to be able to do that because it just sounds cool. Oh, interesting. Okay. Another cool thing about this delay pedal, I kind of see this as like my most important thing on the board besides my tube screamer.
The Strymon?
This Capiston right here, because it has this cool little thing. It's cool in between songs, like if I want to I like ambient noises. I like epic noises. I'm not the quickest guitar player, so a little bit of delay always helps, Yeah, and then of course tube screamer, that's when I just need some more drive. I never basically use this compressor pedal. I don't even know why it's still on the board. Small clone, I want to use it, but I never do, so it's on the board. Oh yeah, the pitchfork over here, this octave pedal. It just gives it a nice psychedelic. This gives it a nice, kind of like glitter almost, So
Nice texture too.
So yeah, that's that. Did that turn off automatically?
I'm not sure.
It's not what you want to see before a gig. EQ. I don't even use it like EQ. It's just a 5 dB boost in my effects loop because even though I can kick on a tube screamer, we got two guitar players, it's still not enough to just go above. So I'll just click on that and it will get loud as shit. So
So that's in the effects loop. What else? Is there anything that's going in front, or is this all in the effects loop?
So all this is going out front, and then all the trippy stuff and the boost is in the effects loop. Because if you use a boost before your effects loop, it's just going to get dirtier, and I already got that. I want loudness. Of course, wall pedal, self-explanatory. Wall pedals are cool. And then, I got a tremolo. But yeah, honestly, thinking about it, next move to make would probably be like a multi-FX unit. Because I always have to switch out my pedals and stuff just based on what mood I'm in. And I'm kind of tired of doing that, so.
I hear you. Now, so for the amp, Marshall DSL 40?
Yeah, Marshall DSL 40. The mic appears to have moved a little bit. I've always liked the way distortion sounds coming from an amp, more so than like a pedal. So that's why I have a drive amp. I used to have that Black Star over there, but I wanted something brighter back in my Les Paul days, and the DSL is really bright actually. I actually have to turn the treble down, and I have the presence all the way down on this thing. With this telly right here, it will ice pick your ears. But yeah, I just like the Marshall sound, the classic overdriven sound. It's got a lot of mids in it, and you know. It just sounds like rock and roll. So, and that's, truth be told, that's just like one of the cheapest Marshalls you can get for like a tube amp. So, and I like tube amps. I just think it just has that classic warmth and nice saturated sound in there. And actually biased the tubes the other day. It was before the gig. It was my tubes seemed like they were gonna give up on me, so I put some new tubes in there and biased them. And I actually learned that you can make the tubes like hotter or colder, and it'll kind of change how it sounds. And yeah, but
Are you running them like hotter than normal, or?
no, I didn't this time around. I just put it at like the safe recommended level, and but might be something to experiment with in the future. Run them a little hotter.
Yeah, sure. And you did the biasing yourself, or?
Yeah, I just gotta. Well, the thing about the DSL is they make it easy for you. So they have like this external thing you can put a voltmeter in. And you can actually just turn a knob and you can set the bias. Whereas like most other amps like that Black Star, I think you actually got to go into the electronics of it, and that's not for me. I'm not doing that.
Yeah, it gets dangerous inside there.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah, well, super cool setup. Did we talk about the new neighbor? I don't know how you say it. Immerse.
This is actually the first time I'll be using it at a gig.
Okay.
Typically, I just go with delays, but I've realized sometimes I want some ambience without the percussiveness of the delays. Especially if there's like a lead line or something where it's a chill song. It's not supposed to be trippy or nothing, but I just want some ambience on like a solo or something like that. And I don't like fiddling with like the delay times or anything. I don't want to have to worry about that at a gig, and that's part of the reason I have two delays actually, because I got my shorter slap back type of tape delay, and then I have like a more of a digital like repeating for a long time epic like you're at a stadium delay. But yeah, that's my rig.
Super cool rig. Anything else you got to show us? Is that about it?
No, I think that's it. I mean, I got two other guitars back there. I got the P90 Reverend. It's got P90s on it, and then I got a Les Paul for the humbuckers. Typically, I'm on single coils, but it's good to have one of each. And that Reverend has a whammy bar on it, so if you want to get a little more trippy and vibey, then I'd play on that. So.
You stick with the telly most of the time, though?
Yeah, it's all reliable. It's I can predict what it's going to do more than those are the ones, especially for like rhythm type elements. All I have to do is turn the volume down. When I want my dirt back. So that's why.
Yep.
That's really the main reason, and the reliability. Those other two, it's a little more complicated to clean it up, in my experience, and I just like being able to clean up instantly.
Makes sense.
Yep.
Cool. Well, thanks for your time. Really appreciate it. And good luck with the show,
Yeah,
man.
appreciate it, man.
Yep.
Yeah.
Couldn't have asked for a better intro for the video.
Thank you.
So now I'm over here with Simon on the bass. Simon, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
Doing good. Can you tell me a little bit about your bass?
Well, this bass is actually the first bass I've ever owned. I got it back in 2018 when I decided I wanted to play bass. My dad was a professional bass player. He played classical, upright, and jazz back in Hines in his Millsap days, and I wasn't ever too interested in it because, like, my dad, it's like blah, 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 blah. But then I went to a Fish concert. Saw Mike Gordon hit a couple bass bombs, and I was like, now I see what my dad was talking about. And came back, and I was like, Pops, I need a bass. So I saved up some money, and he helped me out. And I got this stack. This is his old Mark bass preamp back from the year 2000, the year I was born in. And this thing is a hoss. I mean, it can make any bass sound like whatever you want it to, whatever you want it. But this thing is an Ibanez Geo. I had a laser etch in this F hole right here just for, I don't know. I just like stuff to look nice and classy.
Well, I was trying to figure out what your bass was. I was like Googling, and I could not find an Ibanez that had the F hole. I was like, what is this thing? So that explains it.
Yeah, and had wooden knobs put on there. I don't know, I like things that look classy. I use a D'Addario flat wounds. I like the flat wound sound, a little Motown. But man, yeah, that's I got this GK stack. I got 2 10s in here and a tweeter. And I got 115 on the bottom. This thing is a monster as well. And I didn't bring any of my pedals tonight. I like playing raw, especially for small rooms. The flat wounds, the argument is that round wounds are more versatile. I agree, but when it comes down to it, for a raw sound, if you have a good EQ, you can make flat wounds sound like whatever you want.
What about the EQ on your bass? Do you mess with that any?
Oh, I do. Okay, so it's an active.
Nice.
It's totally active pickups. I've got a bass boost right here. This is my neck pickup. This is my bridge pickup, and then this is my tone knob. I keep everything rolled up. Everything. It helps me mix in the EQ a lot better. And I barely ever use the bass boost. Probably won't even tonight. If I do, it'll be a special moment. It gets loud. And that's really just, that's everything really, man. I use a pick. I actually stole a pick from Mike Gordon, the bass player of Fish. He was playing a show in DC with Leo Kottke, and he left his pick right there. Everybody wanted a set list, and everybody was like trying to get all the different papers. I was trying to reach the pick, and the guitar tech, his bass tech, saw it. He bent down, flicked it to me, and I was like, I got the pick of destiny! And I got it. And it's an old Jim Dunlop pick. They don't even make anymore. But now I use a Telefunken triangle pick now. But for tonight, I'm using a Jim Dunlop Stadium pick.
Okay.
And it's just, for people who kind of crap on a bass player for using a pick, I like to tell them using a pick is a lot like how a drummer would use sticks on his drums. So you can play a drum set with no sticks, it's not as loud. You play it with sticks, bam, it's loud. You can even play sticks on bongos. You know, you wouldn't want to do that. But with the bass, the fingers, it's all round, it's all warm. But if you want that clarity and that high end, a pick is where it's at. Yeah.
And you really, like, when I listen to your recordings and live, you stand out a lot, like a good bit. Like, you know when to sit back in the mix, but you've got parts, you're jumping forward, you know, you're not always just sitting back on the beat, you know what I mean? So it makes sense, right?
Absolutely. So everything that's about that drive has everything to do with the clarity too. So for anything that's like voice leadings, where I'm trying to outline the chord, I really want to be right on top. Kind of like Dave Schools from Widespread. If you listen to Widespread, he's so on top of the mix. And again, he's using a pick. And I mean, the first to kind of start it all, it's kind of an argument, but between Phil Lesh from Grateful Dead and Barry Oakley from Allman Brothers, they kind of really pioneered that pick sound. And it's just monstrous to use now, especially if you're not trying to play metal music and you're trying to go classical, almost like a bow. The pick is where it's at.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
So also 5 strings. Was this
5
just
strings.
what you got? Is this a choice?
Funny enough, okay, so I wanted a 5-string. I ordered a 4-string from Sweetwater. They gave me a 5-string. I wanted a 5-string. It was meant to be. It was meant to be. It was magical. I was like, there's no way. So I knew right then and there I was meant to be a 5-string player.
There you go. Just like the pick of destiny, you've got the bass of destiny. the stack of Destiny. You're set, man.
Dude, thank you, Isaac.
Yeah, you want to give it just like a good rip? Just play your heart out for a second?
Yeah, dude, absolutely. Here we go.
Very cool. Well, thank you for your time. I'm looking forward to y'all's show.
Thank you,
Thanks,
bro.
man.